Imagine a scenario in a company where the CEO needs to pass some messages to the sales team. There are two ways to share this information. One is passing the information down, where the CEO tells the manager passes it on to the team lead, and the team lead to the sales team. Each level can send information to its direct reports only. The information that needs to be passed on are equivalent to props in React. This process of passing information is called prop drilling, when intermediate levels do not actually need the information but are forced to pass it along. For example, in React, in most of the applications, components are nested in following way as shown in the diagram. Here the layout and the sidebar do not actually need user data, but they're passing it down to user info component. So, what are the downside of prop drilling? The first one is it is repetitive and messy. It is hard to maintain as application grows on or becomes big. It breaks down easily while refactoring the code and makes the component tightly coupled. React provides a solution to this problem through context. In the company example before, a context is like a shared dashboard where everyone has access to it and they can read. So instead of passing codes to every manager, the information is put into a company-wide dashboard and the sales team can check the dashboard directly. In terms of React, it is a shared data space accessible by any component in the tree. React provides create context function to create a context, which is like creating a dashboard, and use context hook to read from the dashboard. In the following React code, user context provider is like the company dashboard, and use context is equivalent to checking the dashboard. So what are the advantages of this method? It removes unnecessary prop drilling, making the code cleaner and easier to maintain. And also components can access the shared data directly. So when to use props or context? Use props when there is direct parent-to-child communication, if the component tree is smaller and the data is used by only few components. The examples of this would be user input and button click handlers. Use context when there is a global or shared data that is required or used by many components. This could be authentication, theme, language, and global settings. Now let us see the practical use case of useContext hook. Here is a generic UI. The UI has layout component which has sidebar, card, and navbar. There is a button that toggles the theme from dark to light or light to dark if clicked on all of these components. This is a React project. Inside the UI folder, there are several components, which are card, layout, navbar, and sidebar. The layout component, as you can see, acts as a wrapper component. It contains and organizes sidebar, navbar, and card components together to form the page layout. In the navbar component, there is a button that allows the user to switch theme. When the button is clicked, the theme changes from light to dark or from dark to light for the entire application. You might wonder how all components update their theme at the same time. This is done using useContext hook. To implement this, under the context folder, we have created a theme context and a theme provider. In the theme context.js file, we create a context using React's createContext function and export it so that components can use it. After creating the context, we created a theme provider component in the same folder. The purpose of the theme provider is to provide context value to other components in the application. The theme provider uses useStateHook to manage the theme. The theme state variable stores dark or light value. Then the setTheme function updates this theme state. Whenever the theme state changes, the new value is provided to all child components through the theme context.provider. React then automatically re-renders those components so they update to reflect the new theme. Finally, in the app.jsx file, the theme provider wraps the layout component. This allows all components inside the layout, which are navbar, sidebar, card, and etc., to access and use the theme context. Now, let us run this code on the browser. To do this, we run npm run dev in the terminal on the VS Code. As you can see, our application has successfully loaded on the browser. By default, the theme is light. When you click on Switch to Dark Theme button on the top right corner, the theme of all components changes to dark. So if you click this button, as you can see, the theme of navbar, sidebar, and card, they have changed to dark. And if you switch this button again, the theme changes to light.